What is going on, everybody? How are y'all doing tonight? I know this is a late one. Trust me, I know. I was just building something special for everybody, so I just wanted to come on here and let y'all know everything is finally done. But I have a lot to talk about, tonight. This may not be the longest stream ever, but I'm going to get a lot of information out in a short amount of time. And then if y'all have any questions or want to jump on the Zoom call, I did leave the link in the chat room section. So I'm just gonna jump straight into everything. Y'all know the disclaimer. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. Always do your own due diligence. See, look, I got my disclaimer memorized now. But yes, I know this is a late one, and you will understand why here in just a few minutes actually. So I'm actually pretty tired right now. I've been working hard all week, but a lot of good things got done. Got to stay hydrated, so y'all will see me sipping water every now and then. But I want to talk to you about something that I think is going to change how you look at your money forever. Honestly, I think I've found something that is going to help shift that mindset a little bit because I want to talk to you about some very interesting things. So just to get started off, thank you, Riley. I appreciate the flames and the comment. Thank you very much. And I appreciate any of you who are on watching me right now. I'm starting my show like 2.5 hours late, so I definitely appreciate you. And anyone who watches this later, I appreciate you as well, because you can't always catch me on live because, well, the sporadic posting times and whatnot. Plus, y'all got to sleep, y'all got work, y'all got school, y'all got all these different things going on. So I definitely just want to reach out and let y'all know that I appreciate every single one of you. Y'all give me a lot of great ideas, and I'm just happy to sit on here, talk with y'all, educate y'all, and then I get educated by y'all sometimes. So it's just a really good feeling. But anyway, on to the topic of the evening, how we're going to change how you look at money forever. So I have almost a full decade of personal finance experience. I was able to get my net worth up to the six-figure mark in my 20s, and that is an accomplishment in itself. But now that I'm 30, just turned 30 a few months ago, I'm almost doubled that already. So hit my first 100,000 at about 28 years old. It's already almost doubled, and I just turned 30 2 months ago. So I say all that, and all that is true, but I'm not perfect. I have overspent money. I have bought silly things that I didn't need. I have forgotten about bills. I have oversaved my money, so I put so much money in my savings account to where I bit so much off that I couldn't chew it off. So you heard the saying, "Bit off more than I could chew." Well, I did that with saving, and what I had to end up doing was take money from my savings and put it back in my checking to avoid my account going in negative. That means I was saving too much money thinking I could get away with it, and really I wasn't managing my money properly in that way. So, yes, I have accomplished those things. I am still not perfect, but I will help every single one of you who wants to learn how to build your first six figures in net worth in a relatively short amount of time, even if you don't do everything perfectly. And I know because I've done it by myself, for myself, with little to no knowledge on anything at the start, but this is almost a decade ongoing of learning as I go. So that's why I'm confident that I could help people do the same exact thing because I've done it for myself and I know what that journey looks like and I know how to shorten it. So, with that being said, and I'm just looking at my notes, so I'm just making sure that I pace myself and get all the information out there that I've been wanting to tell you all. But what this all boils down to is how you treat your money. And I know that sounds crazy, but it is. It's how you treat your money, and it's AKA how you manage your money, money management. So I want to talk to you about my biggest pain point when it comes to personal finances. My biggest pain point ever since I was 21 years old. I'm 30 now. So all those years ago, that the same pain point I had back then is the same pain point I have right now, and it's the biggest one I have around money and around personal finances in general. And it kind of goes into the same bucket, but it's multiple things. It's like two, maybe three different things. So it's how you keep up with your money slash how you manage your money, and then on top of that, it's how you budget your money. So for short, tracking and budgeting your money. Those are the top two things that are my biggest pain point around money, and I think the same is true for you. And some of you may be listening like, well, actually, my biggest pain point in money is I want to make more money. I want to have more money in my bank account. I want to feel more comfortable. I want to pay more bills. I want to be able to have more left over after I pay those more bills, upgrade my lifestyle. I want to be able to do what I want to do whenever I want to do it. I want to be debt free. I don't want to be thinking about debt. I want to have my emergency fund. I want my money working for me. Those are true and those make a lot of sense. And what I believe is that is also, those are all symptoms, I should say, of the bigger problem, which is what I've been talking about this whole video, and that is how you're treating your money. Because I have a feeling that you're not doing 100% of your best effort when it comes to what you can do with your money in the best way possible. Like, I don't think you're spending as little money as you possibly can and maximizing the amounts you can save. I don't think you're thinking twice about buying certain things. I think that you're perhaps overspending on certain things, even if it's just a little bit. I think we can all agree, and I'll even ask you right now, do you agree with that statement? Are you 100% doing the best you can do, without a doubt, with the money that you have right now? And if the answer is no, I really want you to listen closely to that message, because I actually have a pretty enticing story to tell you about that. And here's the story. So, year of 2024, I wanted to start documenting my wealth journey because I was like, man, I've already hit a six-figure net worth. This is awesome. I want to document my journey. I mean, how cool would it have been if I would have documented my journey up until my first six figures? I think that would have been pretty nice to watch and very much an inspirational thing to watch on your part, because you're watching someone who might remind you of yourself. Like, well, if he can do that, I can do that too. And that's what I want people to feel. I want people to understand that these things are 100% attainable. You know what I mean? Riley says, true and no. What do you mean by both of those? But anyway, that kind of made me lose my train of thought. I gotta learn how to read comments and continue on with my point. But I wanted to document my journey, and I just think it would be an inspirational thing. So as I was doing so, I'm like, okay, man, I need a better way of showing everyone how I'm budgeting and how I'm tracking my money, because these financial apps ain't it. So I built this big elaborate spreadsheet. Long story short, I do not use that anymore. But I built this really big elaborate spreadsheet. It took me like 10 hours to do, not all in one sitting, but just total. It took me like 10, 11 hours to build. And it was really elaborate. You could toggle everything, look at the dates, all these fancy things, pretty colors, this, that, the third, the whole nine. Um, True, I'm spending too much. No, I'm not maximizing. Yeah, Riley, I mean, and everybody I think watching is in the same exact boat, and there's nothing wrong with it. And I just kind of say that to make the point that what if you could do a little better than you're doing right now? Like, not completely go cold turkey on overspending. I'm saying just like improve a little bit and make that multiply your net worth. That's what this entire video is about. So thank you for the transparency, Riley. I feel the same exact way about myself. I'll tell you, I still spend too much money on food. It's just, one of those things where you have to decide what you're willing to accept and what you're not willing to accept from yourself when it comes to spending patterns and spending habits. But to that point, I built this giant spreadsheet, and I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can show YouTube and everybody else, this is how I'm tracking my expenses. This is how I'm budgeting. This is how much exactly to the dollar that I spent, last month, the previous month, the whole year. I have net worth tracker built in as well. And it was really nice. And I was wondering why, because I rewatched the Wealth Journey series, which is coming back, by the way. I want to find ways to improve that. So I was rewatching it, and I was like, man, my behaviors really didn't change too much And I was trying to figure out why, because the whole point of tracking your expenses is to make sure that you keep those in mind and you don't overspend in certain budget categories. So that's why I kind of put budgeting and tracking in the same box, because you need both of them together. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. You can't just set a budget for yourself and then not track how much you're spending in each category. It doesn't make sense, right? So I was just like trying to figure it out, and I figured it out. The spreadsheet was what I call a dumb spreadsheet where you have to do all the work. So basically, it was either the spreadsheet didn't work unless I did. Does that make sense? So if I didn't type in the category and the name and the bill or the place I went to, whether it was Starbucks, whether it was Target, whether it was paying rent, I had to put all of that stuff in. I had to put the dates in which I spent that money. You know what I mean? And after doing all that, and then you type the exact amount and you might make a typo and then you have to go back, and that's one out of maybe like over 100 per month of expenses, like different entries that I'm putting into a spreadsheet. So there's one. Two, it took me a minimum of 30 minutes to do it, and a lot of times it took me over an hour. So I would usually do them on a Sunday or like a Saturday morning or something like that, where it was early, wasn't really nothing was really happening, so I would knock it out then. But even then, I dreaded it, and so what did I do? I pushed it out to like the end of the month, and that was when I typed out all of my expenses. Can somebody tell me what's wrong with doing that? Because I typed out all my expenses, waited to the end of the month. That was when I discovered how much money I was spending in each category. And then I'd be like, oh, well, that's new. Oh, well, on to the next month. And then I'm pushing it off. 4 weeks, 4.3 weeks. That's how many weeks in the average month, by the way. 4.3 weeks. 4.3 weeks later. And, oh, it's time for me to go ahead and make my video. So I'm going to go ahead and punch these numbers in. So I'm not changing my behavior because I'm seeing the information too late. And I hate doing it. And so it's not, even though I spent all the time building that spreadsheet, I thought it would entice me to actually type on it. It didn't. So I just kept falling into the same vicious cycle, but my net worth kept going up. So the year of 2024 taught me two very valuable lessons. And I want to give you a specific order of these two lessons because, well, I didn't have time to be typing in spreadsheets all the time, and it really got on my nerves, to be perfectly honest with you. So, first of all, why did I create a spreadsheet to begin with? Why didn't I just use a financial app? Because I don't like financial apps because they're not always accurate. Because I still have to do the work when they miscategorize something that I spent money in. If I go to Target, that's groceries. I'm not going there to shop and like buy new shoes and like buy new clothes or anything. Some people do, but my point is that why doesn't the app why isn't the app smart enough to tell between clothes and like grocery items? Because it tracks the things that you buy. So I'm just trying to figure out why it can't differentiate between the two. So it's putting groceries and shopping, and when you do go shopping, it puts that into like some other, like literally other category. And then when you go to Amazon, it's, retail. It's just always like a different category, and I just didn't like it. So long story short, didn't like it. Wasn't accurate. It wasn't. My spreadsheet, for example, versus the financial apps were two totally different things. And I knew the one that was on my spreadsheet was correct because I manually put them in, and I went straight to my bank account and looked at it, and then I looked at the app, and the app would miss some spots. And when you're trying to get better with personal finances, every little bit counts, in my humble opinion. Not everybody feels that way about it. I feel that way about it, and I care about growing my finances beyond belief, so I'm going to care about it. But I didn't care enough to change my behavior because I was manually putting everything in. So I was getting frustrated, and I felt like I did not have time for that mess. So the two lessons that I learned in 2024 was simply that you can still grow your net worth a lot. And I mean a lot, like capital, underline, bold. You can grow it by a lot, even if you're not doing the right things. You 100% can. But two is if I could do a little better, and of course, a little better can turn into a lot better. But if I could do a little better with keeping an eye on my money and managing my money, I can multiply my net worth even faster. So the time that it takes to double my net worth each time is going to be the difference between now and when I become a millionaire. Riley says, I can hop on call, chat for a few minutes before bed. I want to bounce a couple of ideas off you, and budgeting seems like a lot of work. It does seem like a lot of work. Yeah, hop on the call. I will go ahead and answer. And Riley, what I'm actually about to do is I'm about to show everybody something because the reason I talk about all this budget stuff and tracking your money is because I wanted to find a solution. I wanted to understand what was the gap and how I could be better with it. And nothing existed. So I built something. I built, I kind of combined two things. I built an app on top of Google Sheets. That's what I did. I like the interface with spreadsheets. I like the control of spreadsheets. So I built something for myself that helps me, that actually, instead of me typing everything in, it just like gives me a quick report and it tells me in plain English what's going on, what my patterns are, what I can do to improve. And I can do it any day of the month. It's going to sync to my bank account, and that's how it's going to go. I just went ahead and admitted Riley into the Zoom call. What's up, Riley? How you doing? I can't hear you.
Hey, what's up, my friend?
Hey, how's it going? I can hear
It's
you now.
going good.
Good, 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 good. So I built an app on top of a Google spreadsheet to make it easier for myself. I'm going to show it to y'all here in a second, but it was so useful to me. I wanted to make it accessible to you. So that's what I did. So I'm going to show y'all the video, and I would love to know feedback and what y'all think. But before I show y'all this video, Riley, did you have anything real quick before I showed everybody the app?
Yeah, I get what you're saying about the little investments, right? I read a book. I think it was The Compound Effect, and like
Mm-hmm.
the small changes over time is what's gonna create wealth. And also, hey, one thing I noticed about what you were saying too, not if you become a millionaire, but when, because we're taking the right steps. And yeah, I followed along from the wealth journey, like from your YouTube videos, right? And then yeah, you just popped up, and so I figured I'd join the live and hop on the call. So thanks for letting me join.
Anytime, and I appreciate all of that, and that's very true. The Compound Effect is a very good book.
Yeah.
That book covers a multitude of things, and I think the overall thing is the compounding effect of just being consistent with anything in life is the key to excellence. And I think everybody in this call right now and in this like live should really take that to heart because making little incremental adjustments and then little improvements, and let's say you're adding $50 more a month to what you're saving or investing, eventually that's going to compound and that's going to turn into more. You're going to learn more and your money's going to grow more. So, without further ado, let me go ahead and pull this video up. Um, so, it's going to be a video within a video, so it may look a little blurry, but you'll still be able to, it's still legible. It's just like not as crisp as like maybe the video you're watching right now. So, this is an unlisted video. This is going to be the video that people who get the app actually sees. So, all right. Browser. It looks like the sound wasn't going through at all on I just tested it on my browser on my phone, and for whatever reason it seems like the sound wasn't going through. So let me try that one more time. That was a little weird. Yeah, I agree, Riley. That was weird. I probably just lost everybody on that one. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna edit this video down anyway and like release it later on. But I'm gonna figure out why that did not go through.
So
And
the app pretty much, I don't know, it was about to get to what it does, but it pretty much does it just show you kind of where you're spending your money for you?
Mm-hmm. It,
That's
it
pretty neat.
it shows you on the left side, then it tells you on the right side, then it shows you like which category you're spending and everything. It tells you what percentage of your salary you're spending in every category. And then it even tells you if it notices that you've been taking money from your savings account and put it into your checking account and all that good stuff. So yeah, it does a lot of stuff. That's like the first page. And then there's more. There's a separate AI chat bot, and there's a bunch of other add-ons and other cool features. But I don't know why the sound didn't go through. That's a little weird. Um,
I don't think you use Acorns, but that's an investing app that I use. And I have the roundup feature on. So every time I swipe my card, it rounds up and invests it for me.
mm-hmm.
But there's a multiplier on there that's times 10. So like if I bought something for $4.10, it
Mm-hmm.
invests not 90 cents but $9.
Oh wow.
So I'm seeing that not only am I spending more, but I'm also investing more. So I don't know. I think it's a good thing, right? I mean, just since the last like month, I already invested $500 into my Acorns account. Like,
Mm.
yeah, I think a lot of people, like, correct me if I'm wrong, but they think like they're almost stuck in this scarcity mindset where they can't invest or they can't be a millionaire because they don't make enough money.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like put the money aside, like first and foremost. I see that in your videos all the time.
That's absolutely correct. I mean, you don't have to buy a full share or a full share of a fund or anything like that. You can quite literally just buy a fraction, and the way you're doing it is smart because like that $9, you probably weren't going to just like lose that $9 out of thin air. So you're putting it to good use, and that money is just going to multiply as well. So even though it might not seem like a lot, if you do that times like however many times you spend that amount, and it goes into your investment account, that's going to turn into $90 very quickly, and then probably 150, and then so on and so forth very quickly. So I think that's good. The only things I don't agree with is like credit cards that are attached to crypto and things saying, yeah, the more times you swipe this card and go into debt, we'll give you a little bit of crypto. Like the return ratio is just not there. But with what you're doing, just your regular spending with I'm assuming your debit card, the multiplier kicks in and sends your the same money from the same card over to your Acorns account. I think that's actually wise, especially the younger you are. Acorns is a good app. I used to use Acorns. That was my first ever investment app I actually got into, and I didn't really know much about investing, but I was doing the aggressive portfolio, and it grew a lot in a short amount of time, and then I cashed it out. But yes, I like Acorns a lot.
Yeah, I would say I'm kind of where you're at. Like when you started and you were 21, right? I'm 21 right now, and I don't know if you could edit this part out, but I'm at about like I think I'm have like 25,000 saved right now.
Oh, nice.
And, yeah, or maybe like 22, but that's in my Roth, and then I have like just the $500 in the Acorns, and then I have like $500 in my checkings. Like because of how I grew up, though, I
Hmm.
want to spend the money. Like I have money, oh, let's spend it, just because like I was raised kind of like not poor, but like we didn't have that much money. So
Hmm.
like now that I have like a salary, I'm like, oh, money, let's spend it. But I want to make sure I'm doing what's right. So um,
Absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah, and that's the dilemma a lot of people have, um, including me. Cause like growing up for me, it was just like if I wanted something that was like, let's say $200 or more, I could get it. I just had to work for it, type of thing. Like cutting people's grass, pressure washing houses, things like that. And Like my parents basically taught me, you can have anything you want in life, but you have to go and work for it. And so naturally, when I have worked as hard as I have throughout my career, and I like see something I want and it costs a lot of money, I have like a tug of war. It's like having the angel and the devil on, each side of your shoulder, like the cartoons. It's like one side is telling you, don't do it. You don't need this. And the other part's like, you worked hard for this. You need to get this. So I think it's a dilemma that a lot of people will always have, and there's nothing wrong with it. But once you get to, I think delaying that feeling until you get to where you want to wealth wise, I think is going to set you apart. I mean, already you're doing fantastic. I mean,
Yeah.
super young, super good savings, and you're investing too. And you're smart about it because you're keeping your everyday money, so to speak, like in your checking account. You're keeping that money tight. You're keeping it to where it's not like so much in there that you're just like basically tempting yourself to spend it. You're keeping it stowed away in a bigger, better account for future use. So I think that's really good as well. So yeah, I have the same dilemma for sure.
Yeah, I was listening to a book called The Millionaire Mind by Steve R. Ecker or Steve Ecker or something.
Mm-hmm.
Millionaire Mind, and he was talking about net worth and every 90 days checking your net worth. And in the book, he guarantees you if you check your net worth every 90 days and you do the things in the book, then it will grow. And like I've seen it happen on your channel, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
you had 80,000, right, or like 90,000, and boom, it was at 100,000. Like I don't know what it's at now, but it's just grown. And the fact that you said, oh, it's at six figures, your net worth is six figures, and then all of a sudden like, oh, and it's gonna double so soon because
Mm-hmm.
your money's working for you now, and like that is the power of the compound.
That's exactly correct. So I'm excited to see, the next few years to come. I know there will be things like stock market corrections and like upswings in business, slowdowns in business, just different things that happen in life. But I'm very excited to see like the next 5 years where my net worth ends up, because if it keeps doubling as aggressively as it has been, I'm looking at millionaire status sooner than later. And that's what I want for everybody watching this, because people who get inspired see this and start investing themselves, start saving themselves more money per month, and then they start to see their first six figures. That's what I want to see. I want to keep seeing people hit their six-figure mark for the first time, because once you get there, especially if you get to where one account has six figures in it, that's when things start to really change, where money gets aggressive when it comes to working for you, which I really like. I am going to attempt playing this video again. I don't know why it didn't work the first time, so I'm going to try to control the audio. Can you let me know, Riley, if you hear it through YouTube?
Sure, but then I gotta hop off. But I'm writing down that when you hit six figures, that's when your money starts working for you more aggressively.
Awesome. Awesome. I appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna try it now. Welcome to WealthSync AI. I'm super excited that you went ahead and grabbed this. I'm just gonna give you a quick tutorial and a full walkthrough on how to use this so you can get set up perfectly to begin with. So we're gonna first go over to the email section, because the first part of this is getting the email. So once you fill out the Google form, you will see your WealthSync AI dashboard is ready, and then you'll click this link. That will take you here. So this is what your WealthSync AI dashboard will look like, and these are the options you will see at the bottom once your screen loads. And then you'll click here where it says WealthSync AI. If you ever get a moment refresh to check out this video, because it does have license detection. And then this will pop up. So don't ever be alarmed by this. This is a one-time only thing. You'll click OK, and then you'll click your email, and then you'll click the advanced button, then go to master template, and then go to continue. Lots of clicks, I know. Then select all, and you're basically just following the prompts if you ever don't know what to do. Hit continue, and then you're good to go. So now you know you've done it right when you see WealthSync AI is loading and you have this little box that shows you that it's loading and a little toaster at the bottom also giving further instruction. So the first thing that will pop up is terms and conditions. You'll read through it, and then if you don't want to see this again, every time you refresh your license, for example, you just click do not show again. I agree. That's going to save your information, and you'll be able to refer to that here in the terms log. And now that you've agreed to your terms and conditions, you'll refresh your license one more time. And this time it just goes straight into the loading for you. Now that everything is completely done loading, this is what you're left with. So if you got the standard package, which is the product you bought on my website called WealthSync AI, the world's smartest spreadsheet, this is exactly what you'll see. You'll notice at the top, it says upgrade to premium. These just have all my other add-ons that go with WealthSync AI that will also appear down here once you purchase them, if you decide to do so. But here's a quick tutorial and a quick walkthrough of everything you get with WealthSync AI. So you'll click here and you have your menu buttons right here. So you have connect checking account. This goes with this dashboard right here, which is called the user dashboard, as you can see down here. Then you have user dashboard tools. So there's clear transactions, delete permanently, ask WealthSync AI, toggle active sheet visibility, and restore dashboard. We're going to go through every single one of those real quick. And then we have support and more. This is your tech support, your feedback form. Tips pop up in the lower right corner every now and then, just letting you know what different parts of the app does for you. If you want to turn those off, you'll just click this button here. There's a merch shop. There's also my Wealth Labs coaching platform. And there's also my Join Wealth Journey Collective. And what you just saw pop up here is the AI bot that reads everything that's in this. So after a certain amount of time, it will pop up and just give you a quick message, a quick hello, and basically gives you a quick reminder to make sure you fill this up before proceeding anything. So the first thing we'll go over is the most important thing, connecting to your checking account. So we're going to fill in a month and a year. You have to do this first in order to get it to work. So we're in October. Why not choose October? We're in 2025, so we're going to click that. And by the way, this year category goes all the way down to 2100. So I did everything I could to make sure that this app goes well beyond how long we'll ever need it. So anyway, you'll go from here. Now you will click Connect Bank Account. From here, there's a user agreement that pops up. If you don't want to see it again, just simply click Do Not Show Again and click I agree. It's going to log you in your system's logs. And now Plaid is going to pop up faithfully every single time, asking that you either continue as a guest or you enter your phone number in. I prefer to put in my phone number just because it's going to memorize you that way, and it makes it a lot easier to connect your accounts every single time you do so. So I'm going to put my number in and we'll be right back. Once you enter in the information, Plaid is going to send you a confirmation code and you'll go ahead and type that in. And once you enter that confirmation number, it's going to give you a list of accounts. And you can always connect to a new institution at the bottom. But once you do get acclimated with this app, it'll go ahead and memorize the bank accounts that you're set up with. So you're only going to look at your checking account. So we're going to link to my checking account right now. It is going to ask you to sign in, especially if it's the first time you've ever done this. Now from here, you'll see there's an option between two accounts. A lot of us have checking and savings accounts within the same bank. You're only going to click on your checking. That way, when you send money to your savings account, it's not counting as if you saved your money twice. So from here, we're going to click continue. You'll see a quick motivational message. Click OK and watch the magic happen. Boom. You can exit out of this, and It's just wonderful. It's going to give you a breakdown of everything you've spent money on, the description, like the places that your money went to, and your AI summary comes up. You'll see your total income for the month so far. You'll see your total expenses. Again, this is October, so I haven't had all my expenses spent quite yet, but this is what it looks like. And this is just the user dashboard by itself. From here, what I want you to do is explore the rest of this. So with this, I'm big on keeping everything organized. You may be similar in that way. So if you want to keep this organized and you don't want to look at this every single time you see your user dashboard, especially if you're pulling multiple months at a time, you go up here, user dashboard tools, clear transactions. What that's going to do is going to wipe out this side completely. Boom. Now, where'd your folder go? Where'd your information go? Are you ever going to see it again? And why is the AI summary still there? The AI summary is still there so you can still look back on that month if you want to, but it actually goes right here in your archive folder, October 2025. And it's hidden right now, but if you ever want to toggle that sheet visibility, you will go here and you go to toggle archive sheet visibility, and it pops up right down there for you. Pops up down here for you. Now, what if you're like, oh crap, I still wanted to see that? Well, there's something for that. You go here, you go to user dashboard tools again, restore dashboard. Boom, it's back. Now, if you've already archived your folder, you've seen what you wanted to see for the month of October or whichever month you choose, you'll go to WealthSync AI again, user dashboard tools, delete permanently. So this is going to keep your archive folder intact and all your information intact, but it's going to just wipe out everything you see here on the screen. So let's test it out. And it's going to ask you if you're sure you want to proceed. You click yes. It wipes out everything so you can start fresh like nothing ever happened. And that is the user dashboard. Now we have something a bit more exciting, I think. We have our own personal AI chatbot down here, and all you do is type in a question, and then you click Ask WealthSync AI, and it legit answers your question. So, I'll ask it a question. Let's see. So I asked, in October, on average, how much money did I spend per day? Which is a really good question to ask if you're trying to save some money. So we'll go to WealthSync AI again, user dashboard tools, ask WealthSync AI. And this thing works like a supercomputer. So it tells you straight up what you spent total so far. It tells you your average daily spending. You can even change up the format if you don't like this paragraph format, but basically it does tell me right here, look, this is how much you spent every single day on average. Your top category was food and drink. Surprise, surprise. It tells you how much of your income that represents. And if you're like, you know what, I want the same answer, but in bullet format, you can do that. You literally type it. So as far as your imagination goes, is as far as the AI chatbot goes. So we're back on the user dashboard now. And also, if you ever want to clean things up down here, you can start to go ahead and click WealthSync AI again, toggle archive sheet visibility again, and it's going to make October disappear for you so it can stay hidden in case you really need it. And then last but not least, because we did cover every single thing on here, so now we're going to go to support and more. Just so you know, if you ever have any questions about anything, there is a tech support chatbot that works 24/7, and you click there and it'll give you a little link to click, and boom, the tech support bot introduced itself as Atlas, and it just lets you know you can ask any question you like. So there's that. Of course, you can also email Reggie at officialwealthsyncai.com, which the AI chatbot will also refer you to if you still have questions. We'll go here again. There's a feedback form, so if there's things about the app that you like or you don't like, you can click this form right here, and it'll also give you a little link. It'll direct you to Google Forms, and you can go ahead and answer some questions here. And this is a pretty simple form, not asking for anything crazy, just how you would rate it and what you think in general and what we can do to improve the app, because you do have included software updates with your purchase. Then we'll go back. There's a turn off tips thing. I'm not going to click it now because I actually like them, but if you ever see pop-up toasters saying, giving you quick reminders about certain things, that's always something you can look at. There's also a merch shop. If you're interested, you click here. It's going to redirect you, bounce you over to a different page. Also, make sure you have disabled pop-up blocks, because that is a thing, and so it didn't take me there just now because of that. So I just disabled that. So now I'm going to do it again. Shop merch is going to bounce you over to the next page, and boom. I have more products that I'm dropping, but those are what I have for right now, especially as it gets cold outside. Just if you want to support the brand and if you want some cool merch and some comfy clothing, that's going to help you out. Then we have Wealth Labs Coaching, which is my coaching business where I, give some insights about personal finances and help you reach whatever the goal is that you have. And there's more information in this as well. And last but not least, the Wealth Journey Collective integration. So when you click here, it lets you either log into your membership already, so you can be on Wealth Journey Collective and WealthSync AI at the same time, and you can take screenshots, post milestones, things like that. And there's also a Join Wealth Journey Collective link, which directs you straight over to that. And of course, if you ever want to upgrade, there's every single thing that is an add-on. So if you want Debt Sync, you click Debt Sync, and it bounces you over to the checkout page, lets you know everything that it does, how it works, all that stuff, so you can get started fairly knowledgeable on how the product works. But that's also going to include another video like this, and the same work for all these other things as well. For the last things I want to cover is the bonuses. So Wealth Journal. I've already been messing around with this, but if you want to, make a savings goal thing, and you're like, okay, savings goal. Let's say it's for 2026, as we are in late October now, so it's wise to start thinking about this stuff. I want to save, $2,000 by January 2026. Just an example. And what this lovely thing is going to do is going to timestamp it for you, and then include your email information, so you can always look back on this and know when you've updated this journal, so you can always track your goals. And another add-on has been my famous Wealth Journey sheet, which is specifically talking about your wealth journey. And you put all your assets, all your liabilities, and this is going to be your net worth tracker. And you put whatever year it is, so 2025 right now. And then you put your net worth goal, whatever that may be. You fill this out throughout the year, and this populates for every single month throughout the year. And then as you scroll down, you'll see that there's another one for another year, then there's another one, and it keeps going and going and going. It goes up to 10 years. So that is everything that the standard version of WealthSync AI does. It packs a serious punch. If you have more add-ons, check out the other videos that actually show you how each individual add-on works. Thank you so much. Reach out if you have any questions, and I really hope you enjoy using this app as much as I enjoyed making it for you. All right. Hopefully y'all found that helpful. I've been wanting something that solves the problem that I've been talking about this whole time for everybody. Like first it was just for me just because I wanted to understand my finances better and broadcast what I was doing to help more people, but I was like, if other people just had access to this would be better. So, coding it for myself, not so difficult. Coding it for everybody, very difficult. Let me tell you. It took months. But besides the point, that's why I haven't been producing as much content on YouTube. That is why sometimes I skipped, past tense, skipped my lives. It's because I wanted to build something special and I felt that the value from that, like the quicker I could get that out, would give me more value than any amount of videos I could put out. Just in my humble opinion. In the hands of people who truly want to improve, this is going to be something very, very special. And so my pain point, like from 2017 up till now, has been, how do I save my first X amount of money? First it was $1,000, then it was 1,500, then it was 2,000, then it was 20,000. How do I save this much money? Okay, how do I invest? Then it was 1,000, then it was 20,000, then it was 40,000, and then we're talking about six figures right now in one of my accounts, almost $50,000 in another account, and almost $40,000 in another account. So as you see, my net worth is improving, but that's secondary to the bigger thing, which is how I'm managing my money. So if I'm able to use my app, which I am, because it's now something that exists, I have a tool now that I can just not type in the entries, but type in my phone number, um, and then just type in like a few confirmation codes, and then you mean to tell me I have all my data there in plain English for me? And instead of it taking 30 minutes, it might take 30 seconds to 3 minutes tops. You know what I mean? And if I have in-depth questions, I can ask the AI chatbot, and it's going to give me answers specific to my financial situation. So to me, that's invaluable. So I wanted to give that to everyone. And if you have a pain point in money, I strongly recommend you look at how you track your money first. And if there's a problem there and you don't have the time or the patience or the willingness to go through all this and look at this mess that you spent, because here's the thing, there's two different schools of thoughts. I'm from the new school, I guess you could say. Even though I have technically reached UNC status since I hit 30, but there's a school of thought that says, if you manually enter it, you feel it. Now you don't want to spend money on all those things. For me, it doesn't work that way. For me, manually typing everything in is painful, but buying whatever I want in that moment is joyful. So biologically and psychologically, we're going to do what we find enjoyable versus what we find painful. That's just common sense. So it's not like you get punishment every time you spend a bunch of money. You still got to manually enter that mess in, and you're probably going to do it again, like just I did, and I know better. So you know what I mean. And a lot of us know better. That's not the issue. The issue is that we don't have real time data that tells us right now how much money are we spending and where is it going, and having that to you in literal seconds. Instead, it's after the fact information. And once you do that, you have to go through everything and look, make sure it's accurate, make sure, oh, it's in the right category. Oh, that's not an expense. That's me transferring from my savings account to this account. And you having to do the math and you having to figure it out and you having to make sense of it and make a picture of it. Well, the company OpenAI, the same company that owns ChatGPT, has an API, and that's what's built into my app. And it is completely private, and only you can see it. And it does not retain your information. You know what I'm saying? And I have a FAQ section on the web page that I have linked in the description if you want to get this app. Basically, just clearing you of knowing that this is safe, this is protected, this is private. And anyway, we use the chat GPT technology to then read your information, not to store your information, but to read your information and tell you what's up. And then That's it. And then once you have what you need, you can keep moving and make adjustments. And you can go 5 days in the month, you can go a day in the month, you can go 30 days in a month. It doesn't matter. It's going to, if whatever month you choose, it's going to go there. And whichever year you choose, it's going to go there. And it's going to tell you what it is that you need to know right then. And if you see that 7 days into the month you're over, okay, you can start making adjustments instead of making adjustments further down the road and having to do all this typing in. This is a personal beef I have with manually typing things in. It's 2025. We should not be manually typing things in. Uh, to an extent, right? We have to enter in our passwords and all these other things, but I'm talking about like entering in all the boring stuff, spending unnecessary amounts of times when there are AI things and AI agents and things for a reason that can help you out in real time. Like, why would you not do that? So anyway, tangent over. Point being is I have a personal beef with typing things in and spending my whole day or even an hour in a day because that can throw off the rest of your day if you didn't know. Like that can throw off your focus for a while, especially if you're half doing it and then you make mistakes along the way and like you're kind of watching Netflix but you're kind of typing in your information. It's not it. You can't fully enjoy either one because you're so busy focusing on kind of doing your spreadsheet. So I built a smart spreadsheet and I looked and looked and looked and looked. Nothing like this exists at all. This is the first, the best, and the only at this moment in time. And I plan on that being the truth for a very long time. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think if younger me had this, because everything I do now, and I was talking to my girlfriend about this other day, everything I do now is to become a better man, but also to become the man that can be a mentor to the younger me. And by younger me, I mean like 18, 19 to like 25, I would say. Having me, having now me as a mentor back then would have turned young me into a millionaire. And I'm giving that as a gift, not just to myself, but to every single person who watches my videos and who is intrigued by them and wants to learn more and wants to build their net worth. That is genuinely what I am aiming to do, and that is my overall message, and that is my overall mission. I don't get a ton of views on this channel. That's okay. This channel is not for everyone. But for those who want to hear the message, for the Rileys of the world, for the Simons of the world, and y'all have seen, if you've been watching me for a while, y'all have seen them both on the channel. They're young guys. They're in their early 20s, like between 21 and 22, and they are killing it in the professional world. They are killing it financially, and they are so much further along than I was when I was their age, and I'm proud to see that. And then I'm even more proud to hear from them and hear them saying, well, I got that from you. I'm doing this and I learned this from your videos. I was watching your video, it inspired me to do this. And it's not about me getting the glorification or anything like that. It's about my efforts actually helped somebody else. And they're young, so by the time they are 30, they might actually be multi-millionaires. Notice I said multi, because I have no doubt in my mind that they will be millionaires by the time they hit 30. Based off of what they've told me and based off of what I've seen of their own personal financial journey, I have no doubt in my mind they will be millionaires by the time they're my age because they're already investing, they're already saving aggressively, they're already making a good amount of money, they're already managing their money properly. So it's nothing for them to actually hit millionaire status by the time they hit my age. And I'm not saying that just to be nice. That's legit. And you would be surprised, genuinely surprised at how fast money can actually really multiply up here. So um, I just wanted to say that. I wish, everything I do now is so that I can mentor the younger version of me and be the one that younger me could look up to. It's not that I didn't have people to look up to. I've had tons of people to look up to in life. But when it comes to a financial perspective, I never had someone that could guide me in the investment world and the professional world and, saving general personal finances and all that stuff. So I kind of built a skill set around what I wish I had growing up. And again, growing up, not just when I was a kid, but also just recently when I was like 18, 19, 20, you know, 25. having mentorship is extremely important. And, you know, I knew what I was missing. I just didn't have the skill set behind every aspect of what I was missing. So over the course of this almost 10-year journey, I built those skills. That's why I built WealthSync AI. I built the app to as a tool to further help, because I'm figuring multiple things out at a time. What I'm figuring out is, yes, you can multiply your net worth by stupid amounts of money, even if you do not even half of everything right. But if you can make it to where instead of doing half of everything right, you're doing 70, 80% of everything right, now we're talking about multiplying your net worth several times over. And if you can double your net worth quicker and quicker each time, that's going to get you to millionaire status. Some people work their whole lives to get to millionaire status. I'm telling you something that I've seen a long time ago. And that thing that I've seen a long time ago is that there's a different way. You don't have to work 40 years or 30 years to get to the point where your 401k hits $1 million. It doesn't have to have an age or a time horizon necessarily, a specific time horizon, I should say, attached to it. It could be as simple as, look, this is how much money I have to have invested to then work for me. And I just kind of gave y'all the key in this video, and I don't gatekeep anything. And I do have a wealth group as well where we specifically talk about all things wealth, the good, the bad, the ugly, the great, everything. But on here, we can talk about an even more broad amount of things. And what I'm getting at here is that once you hit your first six figures in net worth, your money starts getting straight up aggressive. So first, I would say the first milestone is hitting your six figures in net worth. And then it's having your first account with six figures in it. And now we're talking about two completely different things, which means your net worth is probably almost doubled. But once that account hits over the six-figure mark, it starts getting aggressive. And then you can start focusing on other accounts. They start getting aggressive, right? And I learned all these things just kind of like throughout the grind, just throughout the, going to work, going home, listening to podcasts either way, listening to books on the way to work, back from home, listening to finances, being bored out of my mind with some of the details, but then seeing it in real life and becoming energized and excited about it, and seeing the actual results of my life, and seeing my 401k exceed my salary. And then, you know what I'm saying, seeing my other accounts start to reach average US salaries just throughout the US. Like, it's crazy to really think about, but it's actually happening. And what I propose to everyone watching this is that it's not just about, oh, I have all this money, oh, I have six figures. What it's about is you can build your finances beyond your wildest dreams if you tightened up just a little bit. Because I showed my whole journey throughout 2024, and I was so comfortable. I was cruising. My accounts were just blowing up in a good way. Like, they were just going upward. My investments, my high yield savings accounts, like, all of them were just moving in the right direction. I was comfortable. I was so comfortable. I was buying extra things that I didn't need consistently. And like, I knew it was bad, but I didn't care because my net worth was going up. But now just looking at it, hindsight is 2020, I could have cut back $500 a month every month and had an even more aggressive multiple on my money. Now I'm about maximizing. You know, there's I was watching the video from Alex Hormozy that he just made. You may or may not have heard of him, depending on if you're a business person or not. But either way, really successful guy, probably a billionaire. But he was saying there's optimizers, and there's nothing wrong with either one of these, by the way. But there's optimizers, which are people who do as little as they can for as much of a return as they can. And there's maximizers who get as much as they can no matter what. You don't have to be either or. You could be somewhere in the middle. Right now, well, for most of my financial career, I should say, I've been an optimizer. I'm working to be a maximizer because I have big time life goals that will be met. Like, there's no question. Some people probably think I'm out of my mind. Like, that's why you don't tell everybody your goals, but like, There's no question, there's no doubt, there's no what if, there's no maybe. It's I have a goal in my mind. It's going to happen. Like I had a goal to build WealthSync AI. It had never been built before, but I figured it out. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't anything that anyone could say to make me think otherwise. And you saw that I used the company Plaid like to pull all the information. I had to have conference calls with them, and they were telling me that it was not possible to integrate their technology within Google Sheets. I proceeded to prove them wrong. And then I was like, look, this can happen because of this and this. And I'm not going to give you all the tech behind it because it's probably going to bore you to death. But I find this stuff fascinating, and I have a background in tech. So I'm like, look. And she was like, oh, well, I think we'd be a perfect fit for you then. But you get what I'm saying? Like, you have to have some sort of tenacity about yourself when it comes to building your personal finances. And as Riley was saying on the call, if you heard him or if you were on when he was saying that people have this misconception that, or misunderstanding that I don't have the amount of money that I want to have to be able to invest. Therefore, I will not invest. But that's incorrect. Young people don't have the money to buy a $200 share stock or a $400 share ETF, but they might have an Acorns account just like Riley does. And every time you buy something at the grocery store, it's taking a fraction of what you're spending and putting it into an investment account. And you would be surprised at how fast that even grows. I started with Acorns. That was my first ever investment account. I think it grew to something like $4,000. Then I cashed it out, put it in my savings because I was terrified of, something happening in the stock market crashing. But that was when I didn't know any better. Now that I know better, I'm telling y'all, look, I've been through the grinder. I know what happens. Not the grinder. That's not the word. That's not the phrase. I've been through the ringer. That's what I meant to say. I've been through the ringer, and I've seen both outcomes. And what I'm trying to let everybody know is one account is up 120%. And that account has only been owned by me, which means I didn't open the account until like mid 2020. Mid 2020, I opened up that account, and boom, it's up 120%. So between 2020 and 2025, 5 years, it's up 120%. What's 120 divided by 5? If I could do it in my head, I would, but I'm a little tired right now, so I'm not even going to attempt it. Oh, I should have known that. 24. So that's like an average of 24% per year. So all that to say, think about budgeting a little differently is something that I would tell people to at least try to do, because it's not just entering numbers on a spreadsheet. It definitely doesn't have to be now that y'all saw what I just showed you. I showed you my app. I showed you how it works. And even if you don't want my app, there's still financial apps on the market that might suit your needs. But you need something. You need some sort of system. But don't just look at the system itself. Look at what the power of the money that you could be using somewhere else. Look at what that power of that money can do for you in your life. I started my investment account with a couple $100, and I was so excited about it, and I didn't want to share it on YouTube until it hit 1,000 at least. So once it hit 1,000, I rushed to my camera and made a YouTube video about investing. And I was like, look, this is a baby account now, but right now it's going to, give it a few years, it'll grow. It's a few years later, and I think when I made that video, it might have been 2021. That same account that started off as a baby account that was $1,000 is now $44,678.12, up 126.28%. So let's divide that by 5. 126, what did I say? 0.68? 0.28. 126.28 divided by 5. I definitely ain't doing that in my head. That's an average of 25%. Come on. But I thought you only get 4% from investing. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to throw away the misconceptions and misunderstandings that you have about money. Look at what the richest people in the world do. Elon Musk has a ton of shares of Tesla and God knows what else, right? Sam Altman has stupid amounts of shares of OpenAI, and they're not even available to the public because it's privately owned. And Tim Cook has a stupid amount of Apple shares. Look at all of these things. So we just talked about the CEO of Tesla, the CEO of OpenAI, aka, well, it's not aka, that's what it's called, but they own ChatGPT, and you probably heard of that if you haven't heard of OpenAI. And then third, the CEO of Apple, and that's just a few CEOs. And they happen to be CEOs of things that I own. And if you invest in Microsoft like I do, they have a stake in OpenAI. So that's what I'm getting at there. So my point with this whole video, I say that a lot, and I've said that a lot throughout this whole video, but I say it to kind of redirect myself, not so much to let y'all know anything, but to redirect myself from getting off the point. I want y'all to just think about it differently, and I hope that this video has energized you and has made you really think and look at money differently, because the world is changing around us. We've got to get aggressive about certain things when it comes to money. And with the speed that AI improves itself, it's so fascinating. I think it's going to be bigger than the internet was when it first started, and the internet boom and all that stuff. I think things are going to get crazy. I think the theories that have been going on online, there is some truth to it. I do believe this is going to be a gigantic wealth transfer. And I'm not just talking about crypto. I'm talking about AI. I'm talking about technology as a whole. Like, AI is going to help a lot of innovations in general. And I'm fascinated with the technology I'm using to like make videos and the edit, and like the technology I use to build the app just to begin with. Like, there's so many crazy things and things that simple things that you can do. Like, most people don't know that you can build an app on top of Google Sheets. You know what I mean? I had no idea until this year. And then I got excited and started building on it. But you can do a lot more than you think you can with what you have, is the lesson of the story, people. Like, it's not just money, it's with everything in life. There's things that your phone can do that you don't realize it can do. There's things your computer can do. There's things you can do that you don't realize you can do. But that's why you have to set your mind to learning new things every single day. And like Riley was saying, that compound effect of you just improving a little bit every single day, you investing a little bit every single day, you looking at your money and looking at your net worth every 90 days, that has an impact. And that can take you extremely far in life. And it won't seem like it day one or even day 30. But if you're just improving 1% daily for the year, which I don't take any days off from improving. I have to learn something new every single day. I have to challenge myself every single day. I have to. I have to have conversations, and I have to be willing to learn something that I otherwise wouldn't have wanted to learn every single day. So if you do the same thing and apply the same logic with money, you might be surprised to learn that, wow, I done saved $50,000. Wow. And you can blow yourself away just by doing things like that. I whoa, my account's at $100,000. What? When did that happen? Oh, I've doubled my net worth already? How quickly can you double that number? And how much freedom do you have with that money? That's the next step. That might be the one of my next lives. So once you build your net worth up to a certain amount, now how accessible is that money? Because when you look at your 401k by itself, it's not 100% accessible. Like, you have to do certain things in order to be able to get that money out of there. Like, no longer be employed with your employer, or having an emergency in which you're then allowed to pull that money out, which you have to prove with the IRS and all that stuff. Or you can have a Webull account or a Robinhood account or whichever account that you have, Charles Schwab, Vanguard, whatever, and then just take your money as you please. But that's another story for another day. My thing is, what if you could do a little bit and have that make a big impact in your life? And what if the difference between you taking that action was just one simple app that was just created that is constantly improving and includes software updates? What if that app was called WealthSync AI? That was the video, and that was live for today, everyone. I appreciate everybody who hung out with me this evening and just, participated in the Zoom call, participated in the chat. And, even if you're just watching, you could be, driving or whatever the case is, or just, chilling out on the couch watching me on the TV, don't want to participate or anything, like just chilling. Like that's fine too. Look, I want all the viewers. I want people who are just chilling cuz like when I watch people on live, I don't realize it, but I don't comment. I don't get on any like Zoom calls or anything. I just chill and listen. I'm usually doing something. I'm like either about to work out or I'm driving to work, stuff like that. Like I want y'all to know I genuinely appreciate every single one of you. And I just want, I want to, well, I should say, I like hearing that the work that I'm putting in is benefiting you and it's useful in your life and it's actually going to move towards positive changes within your life. So I'm not on here to be a super salesy, pushy person, but I will say I am a businessman at the end of the day. That's what I do. Eat, sleep, breathe, business. And I create content as well because I like to help people and I put all the stuff out here on YouTube for free. But I also have a business and I also want to improve your lives. And sometimes that does come with a price tag. So, don't take this video as, oh, this is just a commercial for the app. Like, no, this is something different. Like, this is, regardless if you get the app or not, think about money differently. Think about budgeting differently. Think about tracking your money differently. If you do those three things, which is looking at how you track and how you budget differently, and then have a system in place for how you keep track of everything, I can promise you the net worth you will have a year from now will blow your mind. Mark my words. And that's, a year from whenever you see this video, because it will be on YouTube. You know what I mean? So, anyway, appreciate all you guys. I am going to relax. I'm going to, respond to some comments, respond to some emails, just wind down for the evening and just relax. I hope y'all had a good night and I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will be signing off now. If you want WealthSync AI, the link is in the chat room and it's also in the description. Hope you all enjoy.